time. That's very scary. So I think I just always had a very, very inherent love for makeup because I used to play at my grandmother's vanity. She had this really ridiculous vanity in her bathroom that I would spend hours and hours and hours and hours at. And it was that, Boy George, and the George Michael Freedom video that really kind of just sent me over the edge. And I was like, I need to be doing all of that all the time. So I've worked at, I started my career really at counter level, really working for Lancome a really long time, and I assisted a few makeup artists, and then moved to San Francisco when Stila launched and worked there, and then Smashbox launched on the back, and I've worked for NARS. But I've worked at brands that were founded by makeup artists, when the makeup artists would come in and teach you how to use their brand. So I've been taught by Francois NARS and Janine LaBelle, and really, amazing kind of makeup artists like that. And I, working at Smashbox, I get to work around really amazing makeup artists, and just kind of really fell into makeup. I'm a child of the 80s. My hair used to be straight and dark. And again, Boy George was kind of like my icon and my idol, and my grandmothers really were the people that really kind of, when I wanted to start wearing makeup and using makeup, they were the ones that kind of steered me in the right direction. That's when magazines, you could still get, Harper's Bazaar and Vogue, and I would just like drool over them. That was before W and L and magazines like that. So James and I are about the same age. Anyway, and that's just it. I just have always had an inherent.
The days of vaudeville.
That's it. Of drag and all.
Talkies came in and we didn't.
Yes. So my story is very short and sweet. I've just always had an inherent love for makeup, and just had an opportunity to work at some really amazing brands that really kind of coached you and helped you to become. And Smashbox, having the studio, really helped 110%. So it's kind of my story.
Thank you. My gorgeous golden LA girl, Melanie Mills, can you tell us, your story is a little bit different about how you came into the industry, and your work tends to be in a different area than Lori or Nick or Ruby or I. Can you tell us a little bit about how you came into the business?
Yeah, so I've been a makeup artist for 20 years. I've been in the union, the local 706 union, for 18 years. I know, it's crazy.
You guys just make us feel old when you say that, right? All of a sudden you're like,
I really fell into it. I was, my idols were Kevin Kwan and David LaChapelle, the books. I just drooled over those. I never ever really considered makeup as a career at all, but I was the one in the neighborhood doing makeovers and getting people ready for parties, and I loved producing fashion shows or music videos or a book or whatever. But I never thought of it as a career until I had the opportunity to live in Italy, which was amazing. I was going there I found a reason to study there, which at the time was art history and language. I thought I was going to maybe want to be an interpreter. Once living there, I realized, nah, that's not the route I want to go. But while I went to school there, I met tons of European friends, and so at the time I was a waitress at Acapulco restaurant. I would work for 3 months. My manager was awesome, and then I would couch surf and travel Europe for 3 months, and I would just go back and forth for years like that. I was always very saturated in the arts and the museums and all of that good stuff. One of those trips, a friend of mine was, come with me, I have to make a down payment for my girlfriend at this makeup school. And I walk in and it was like the skies parted. It was this beautiful cathedral. It used to be an old nunnery, and it happened to be the school's last day, so everybody was putting out their best work. And I just was like, oh my God, you can make money doing makeup? This is amazing. One of my best friends growing up, Heidi Wilcox, her dad, Larry Wilcox from Chips, I immediately was like, oh, he can help me get into the business. He had nothing to do with it, by the way, but my wheels were just spinning. How can I do this? So I signed up for the school, came home, told my great-grandmother, who, was my amazing, just funder amongst inspiration and everything else. And she's like, hell, no, not another year over there. The industry is really hard. I come from a 5-generation Hollywood family. My great-grandfather used to manage the Pantages, El Capitan. Other actors used to tour with him. He created the El Camino Theater. And then my grandfather was a famous jazz musician. He used to play for Eartha Kitt for years, amongst many, many others. And everybody else had their hand in entertainment. And my grandma's like, no, too hard for women. Just too hard of a business. I just think, no, not this time. And I was crushed. So I was complaining about it to my hairdresser the next couple of days, and she's like, you should meet my makeup artist friend, my roommate. She's a union makeup artist. that night, I'm hanging out at a bar and we run into each other, totally unplanned. We hit it off, we have a good time. And very quickly, I want to say 2 weeks, 2 days, maybe a week, this woman called me and said, I just have the most amazing opportunity for you. There's a film shooting, it's non-union, and they are desperate for a helping hand. And I'm like, I was scared. I was so scared. I'm like, I've never been on a set. I've never done makeup. She's like, look, they just need powder and a tissue. This is so perfect for you. She drove me down there. The makeup trailer happened to be on Hollywood Boulevard. I could see the Hollywood sign. There's the stars. I'm like shaking. I'm so nervous. I go in the trailer. They're like, what sign are you? I'm like, I'm an Aquarius. Well, I had to step out of the trailer, and I guess that's what got me the job. So they decided to give me a chance at 4 a.m., 4:12.
I love LA.
So 4:12 a.m. call the next day, which I was like, 4:12? Like, what's up with that? And like, what's with like the...
They were using numerology.
They clock everything in by 6-minute increments. So you actually have to learn military time once you're in the union, and you do all. Anyways, showed up. They told me come with a makeup belt. I showed up with a tool belt from Home Depot. I'm wearing platforms. I've got this really ridiculously too cute kind of outfit going on. That first day was 17 hours, and I'm like, okay, no, platforms no good. So that was it. It was a 3-month film that turned into a 6-month film because it was crazy and unorganized and just nuts. But I met Kevin Haney, I met all these amazing makeup artists, and I was just trained right there. I took a quick 6-week course at Sunset and Gower Makeup Academy. Other than that, it's all been learned on the set, and I just dove in, and it all just kind of fell in my lap. I did a bunch of non-union stuff that led to a film that went union. It was a big film with Master P called Lockdown, and I had to do a bunch of tattoo work. That's a funny story too, but it's too long. And it all just tumbled.
Thank you very much. Nick.
Hi everybody. My name is Nick. I've been a makeup artist since about 1999. I don't have that interesting of a story, but it's kind of weird. I grew up with a contractor for my father, and my mom was a librarian, so there was no makeup in the house. None.
I'm obsessed with the Dewey Decimal System, by the way. If I knew your mom was a librarian.
My mom was a librarian for like 50 years, so she was there with the Dewey Decimal System to iPad, so from one extreme to the other in the same exact job. So. I grew up with a lot of art in the family through music. My parents were both musicians, self-taught, and I thought I wanted to be a chef first. I went to cooking school. I was working as a private cook for the Santa Fe Opera House, where I decided I wanted to be an opera singer. I went to music school in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I sang for 6 years of opera, but I always found myself gravitating towards the makeup and the wigs and the drama of everything. So I'd run backstage, touch everybody up, go back out on stage, sing an aria, and then do it all over again. So that's kind of how I found my way to the world of makeup. And I applied at MAC like 10 times and didn't get the job. Finally, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go for this. I was a drag queen in New Mexico. I have titles and crowns and jewels and all that stuff. So I showed up at the MAC counter.
When I'm on the stage with royalty.
Miss New Mexico. I showed up dressed as a Hooters girl and got my job at MAC.
Awesome.
After that, they loved me, and I just kind of took off in the world of retail. Makeup has always been my home and my passion. I have a passion for making people feel good and look beautiful and educating them on products to elevate who they are as a human. And I did that with MAC for 5 years, and then I found Danny Sands at Makeup Forever, and she's been my mentor for the last 5 years. She's helped me become an educator. She's actually trained me on all of the products. I'm very, very blessed to have worked with her. Awesome. One thing that I found really interesting about her and the brand is that she also has a background in the arts. I found mine through theater, acting, and singing. She found hers in painting and sculpting. So we had a lot in common. We had a lot to talk about. Her dad was also like a contractor at one point. He also, I mean, we creative people, we come from somewhere, right? She's so funny. She would tell me stories how her dad used to press all the eyeshadows by hand on the weekends. So she'd take all the pigments in a wheelbarrow to his house, and he'd by day he was a contractor, also an artist, and then he'd make all the products to sell in the boutique for her. So we have like a lot of stuff in common, and above all, she's an educator, and I think that's where I found my passion in makeup. I thought I wanted to be like you all in the industry and working my buns off and hustling all the time, and I really found more joy and love in educating people and making people feel welcome. So that's kind of my thing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, Nick Lujan MUA on Insta and all the social. Catch everybody up.
What is it? Gleam by Melanie on Snap and Gleam_Melanie Mills Instagram.
Thank you. My lovely Ruby, do you want to tell us your Ruby story for me? When we connected and she kind of shared her story with me, I thought this is someone who I need to be more than colleagues with. With all of these people, they're my peers, we're artists, we all work together, but they're also my friends. And I think that with Ruby, it was kind of an immediate thing because she shares so much of who she is. So Ruby, tell us a little bit about your story. I know you share very much with the industry.
Okay, well, my story is a little bit different than everybody else. I was in real estate right before the market crash, and I got so interested in makeup because I bought the Kevin Aquan book, Making Faces, and I go, oh my God, I can do all that. And so I just learned and learned and learned through that book. I also bought that Eve Pearl, look 10 years younger, 10 pounds lighter, and I was obsessed with that. So I decided to make makeup my hobby, a part-time thing, as I was doing real estate. I had a very successful real estate business. And so right when I decided to do that, the market started slowing down. You know, we were making money like crazy. It was fun. And I'm like, but I'm bored, okay? I need to do something else. And so that's how I started with makeup. And a year later, right when I was getting ready to start my cosmetic line, things got worse. And I still decided to move forward with everything. So I'm freelancing in Hollywood. I'm doing a little bit of everything. I work with Mr. RuPaul. I have done a lot of magazines. God, I work with Wiz Khalifa, Chaka Khan, so many names.
Chaka Khan!
I forget, anyways, I'm not a makeup artist anymore. I run a business, but back then, right when I decided to start my actual business, I was like, this is fine, I'm gonna do this. At that time, there was no makeup for ethnic women, I thought, right? Because I was like, there was only MAC probably that started to have shades that will fit my skin. And so I was like, we need something. At that time, I thought was like, I need something that is created by a Latina for a Latina, right? It was my goal. And so right when I launched my company, and I'm freelancing, doing all these little jobs here and there, my real estate company crashes. Everything goes to hell, right? You guys probably remember all that. People are losing their jobs, people are not buying makeup. And so I'm doing well, but a year after that, everything stops. And so I'm like, well, I don't have the privilege to be a makeup artist anymore. I have to turn this into a real business. And so I stopped freelancing, decided to focus on the makeup company. And right when I did that, it just got so bad. I ended up almost homeless, broke. Everything I lost everything, but I wasn't gonna let go of my dream. And my dream was one day I want to be somebody that inspires other women. And I think that's what made me survive through those years, because it was like 3 years where it was bad. I think I had to get a part-time job to pay for my bills at the company, for the employees, for payroll, for all that. But I was so determined to make this happen that I think that if I would have quit then when it got tough, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. But because I went through all that, now I can just help so many women, so many people, because now I get to mentor different people. So even though I still love makeup, I have the privilege to be here with this amazing artist. I'm a big fan. Can I tell you guys? I'm like shaking right now just to know that I'm here at this panel with them, because, you know, they're my idols, right? I respect what they do and everything. And so I worked very hard for years. My company now graduates over 1,200 students a year. We have 4 locations. I'm still very involved with makeup, with the classes, with the program, and I love working with artists like them, you know. I try to bring some of the best people into my company so people like you that are trying to get into this industry can get inspired and can see that you can do it. And I don't care what you do, where you are, if you have money, if you're broke, whatever it is, if you hold on to that dream and you take one step every day towards that dream, you will see yourself one day. So don't quit, just make it happen.
Thank you. So many of you know my story, so I'm not going to go